One of the most audacious new builds in Seattle sits on the Mercer Street exit right-of-way. It has room for two, with easy access to Lake Union, Amazon, museums, and restaurants. The house itself is the latest in green living, built entirely of reclaimed materials left over from nearby construction.
You would just see them on a daily just go back with stuff, building stuff.
Susan lives next door to the Mercer Street camp. She sees the drug use and desperation. She wants the people there to get the help they need.
Obviously, these people, they have problems, serious problems.
But Susan feels like now it's her problem, and a problem for the whole neighborhood. Crime, drugs, property damage.
A lot of police, a lot of the fire department goes next door. Sometimes it could be at least 4 to 5 times a day.
But she says no one in government is really taking charge, while the camp keeps getting bigger.
Even when we do call them and tell them something, they don't do anything. So the people that are doing the damages are just getting away with it.
Clustered along the I-5 and I-90 corridors, an astonishing 2,221 camps have cropped up on WSDOT right-of-ways, according to the department's latest survey. And long-term structures like the ones off the Mercer Street exit now appear in more than half of them. More permanent structures allow the risks for WSDOT to pile up. Hypodermic needles are the most common danger, followed by human waste and biohazards. Workers who come to the camps have been threatened with violence. And let's not forget the risk to motorists. As we prepared this story, a fire broke out at the encampment bordering I-5 near Yesler Way. Flames bursting from the trees as cars steered clear and the camp cleared out. But the real danger to the community only emerged after the smoke cleared. Police found weapons, $7,000 in singed cash, along with meth, cocaine, and fentanyl. This wasn't a shelter for the downtrodden. This was a straight-up drug den spread out on state land. So I went to the landowner, Governor Inslee, who promised this camp and the one under the Ship Canal Bridge were going to get swept as soon as possible.
We have plans to move almost 200 people in the next couple of months out of those encampments.
The next couple of months, so I asked the governor, why not now?
Well, it's a partnership. The Department of Transportation first locates the problem statement. Then we work with multiple agencies, with the local police departments, with local nonprofits, and the nonprofits, usually the ones who actually we contract with, so that the nonprofits operate the shelters, operate the tiny home villages, operate some of the subsidized housing that we've built. And then we need long-term housing.
Inslee says this housing-first approach adopted by the state and local agencies has been working. Since last spring, 17 right-of-way camps have been permanently swept clear thanks to the policy.
The 369 people I think we moved off of our right-of-ways, the vast majority of those people are still sheltered and housed. They haven't gone back because we've provided a place as opposed to just chasing people from one corner to another.
But 17 locations cleared equates to less than 1% of the total number of camps on WSDOT's right-of-ways. At this rate, it will take more than 40 years to relocate them all. In the meantime, those who live and work near the camps have been left to wonder why housing the homeless seems to be more important than their safety.
I understand that it is the philosophy of the authority to wait until people are ready and meet people where they're at. While we wait, people are slowly dying under a bridge, and our children, families, and school staff are being subjected to this public safety hazard. Don't let perfection be the enemy of good here.
The mayor of Spokane shares that mom's frustration. The city sued after WSDOT allowed Camp Hope to grow on its right-of-way until 600 people were staying there.
The city of Spokane has spent nearly $1 million to mitigate the impacts of that encampments on the neighborhood. And that includes private security. It includes trash removal, overtime, police overtime every single day for 12 hours a day.
Spokane's since been granted $24 million from the Washington Right-of-Way Safety Initiative, but the camp is still there.
Our cities are impacted by the policy that has allowed homeless encampments on state right-of-ways. And what do we do as a jurisdiction when we really have little control over the encampments that pop up when they're in the city limits, but they're on state property?
Like Spokane, right-of-way camps are a growing drain on Seattle city resources. For example, The Seattle Fire Department responded to more than 1,500 fires in homeless camps in 2022, up 80% in 2 years.
We also have to be honest with everyone and realize that some of these conditions are unsafe and there's criminal activity that we concern ourselves with.
Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell told me the state is creating a no-win situation when asking communities to choose between safety first and housing first.
We are trying to do the right kind of work to make sure it's safe for everybody. And I think that, if I may elaborate, I think most people realize and have empathy for a person that is so down on the luck and they're sleeping in a sleeping bag and somewhere. They understand that. But I think where their empathy starts turning into fear and even anger is when they see the blatant criminal activity that seems to go unchecked.